changes, from the smallest to the largest, everything you need to know about this update and whether or not you should update on a variety of devices. Now, Apple did release iOS 12 to the general public today. This is the final version, and what you need to know about that is that if you were on the iOS 12 Gold Master Edition, there will be no software update in the over-the-air settings. It is the exact same build number as that, and everyone already on GM has no reason to update. And Apple will be releasing a small number update here very soon, 12.0.1 likely, so keep an eye out for that one. But whether you have an old or new iOS device, iOS 12 brings new life to all of them. So Apple launch times have been reduced, the camera opens faster, everything in general just feels much faster, very optimized. And that extends to all devices. So from the 5S to the iPhone 6S, you'll notice a night and day difference from before and after updating to iOS 12. And stacked notifications. Now notifications are so much easier to handle. You don't have all of these just laid out on your lock screen. They can easily be hidden. And managing all of them at once. So you can go ahead and deliver them quietly, adjust the settings all from here. And in settings, there's a new section for screen time where you can go ahead and manage how long you've been using your device. You can see all of these options here. You can also limit the use of certain applications, much better parental support for blocking certain apps and setting time limits. And Do Not Disturb has a new bedtime mode, so you can actually set certain times that you would like to not be disturbed. And there are apps that can pass through it, of course. And also you get this very nice new screen when you wake up from that mode. And for Do Not Disturb, you can actually set certain times for an hour until the evening or morning and from the current location you're at. There's a reworked Photos app with new algorithms for detecting the subject in the photos, so it's easier to search by that. And then there's a new For You tab with memories and more laid out here. And the Share Sheet has all new icons down here, so they've all been made much more friendlier and slowly, piece by piece, updated. And there's a new markup interface, so going into here, when actually selecting the tool, you can actually see the opacity right there and change that accordingly. And there's a new color picker with 120 color combinations. As far as wallpapers go, Apple did add one new wallpaper to iOS 12, but did remove the old iOS 10 one. And iBooks in iOS 12 has been renamed to Books and received a new interface. The News app has also been tweaked, so it's made simpler now. There is no longer a For You tab, and it's much easier to find new sources using this new interface. And the Voice Memos app has been redesigned with an entirely new interface. It's much more functional now and straight to the point. Both the camera and the Notes application have new 3D touch toggles and options here. There's a new scan QR code one on the camera. Going into the Notes one, here are those. And on the home screen, as you can see, there's a new default orientation for all of the icons with FaceTime up in the top left now. Actual FaceTime has support for up to 32 people group FaceTime. Fortunately, that support has not been added yet. It was never implemented in the beta and will actually be added later on in a future update in iOS 12. Also with iOS 12, you can actually use emojis while talking. There's a new effects page where you can put filters and all these cool things during a FaceTime call. And Siri shortcuts. It makes Siri so much smarter just by adding a catchphrase to do a certain thing, such as hey, and when I say hey, it sends a text to Everything Apple Pro. And in general, Siri has been made much smarter. Siri, how much caffeine in a Red Bull? More access to more data. And check this out on the iPad. Siri, find my iPhone. How cool is that? So Siri from another iOS device can actually ping this one and find it if you lost it in your vicinity. You can actually use student IDs in the Wallet application. It's officially supported and supported by several campuses at the time. Now you can have low power mode enabled and at the same time have Hey Siri enabled as well, new functionality for it. And emojis and memojis. So Apple has added new functionality with a custom emoji character, which you can go ahead and customize to your heart's content. There are so many presets here from all sorts of features. And now there's even more emojis. There's a nice clean new interface for it as well. And these four down here are new. And there's now wink and tongue support. So it'll know when you're winking and when you have your tongue sticking out. And built directly into Messages is the new camera effects page. So click on the camera, click on the effects button. Now you can get an emojis directly in here, as well as a bunch of things in here. So put a filter on immediately, put some text or shapes into here. It's quite diverse. And now all devices, even without...
Now in the weather app, you have air quality settings, so you can see the air quality and what it's like in more detail. I really think that this is a great feature as a lot of people with allergies will come to appreciate more information on allergens in the air. So guys, those were just a few of the many changes found in iOS 12. These were really the most prominent that we found to be useful in the betas, but if if you have any favorites that we listed or some that we didn't list, please write those in the comment section down below. Also, join the conversation, and I always